Paulo Martin here at Functional Patterns, and today we're going to cover the standing bridge. That's an exercise that's covered in the Power Posture book, and I'm going to be doing this with Chad today. So all you're going to need is a band or two to kind of help create some stimulus to bring your knees forward. You'll see this in a second. I'm going to be walking over to this Kaiser, slipping this through so that there are 2 loops at the end. All right, you guys could use 2 bands if you don't have anything to attach it to like this. Bring this down to about knee height for Chad. He's a little taller, so bring this down. Then Chad, what I'm going to have you do is step in to each loop here with your feet, please. All right, so essentially what we're going to be doing with these bands is creating a dysfunction. The dysfunction of his knees having to shear forward. So actually put those right on the meaty part of your calf. Okay. All right, so what I tend to find with most people is that they lack connection with the floor. So as they walk around, they're not actually creating friction with the floor to help propel them through space. So this is what the bands are going to help Chad do. He's basically going to stand there, try to make sure his feet are as straight as possible. There you go. And make sure that you're standing right in front of the anchor of this tension. From there, he's going to be going into a hip hinge. So in this hip hinge, he's going to be hinging at the hips, keeping his torso somewhat elevated. I don't want him to come all the way down here, all right? So what I'm going to have him do is go back down into that hip hinge, and I want you to let this band shear your knees forward. So let the bands kind of pull your knees forward, Chad. There you go. And the reason why I wanted to do that is because I want him to bring his knees back, not just by pulling his knees back. That's going to be empty tension. I actually want him to push on the ground. So I want him to push his feet forward to help him bring his knees back and his hips back. So now he's creating some tension with the ground to do the movement of bringing the knees and the hips back. Are you feeling some tension in the hamstrings now as you do that, Chad?
I think it needs more tension.
A little more tension? Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
You getting some pull there?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So let your knees drag forward again. And then almost like you're going to throw your feet forward, like almost if I wanted to hop backwards, I would have to push the ground forward to hop back. So I wanted to push forward. There you go. You're getting some tension in the hamstrings now. All right. Now from here, we're going to go into more standing neutral. So if you can come over here to the side and get his side view. As you can see, we're still dealing with a little bit of curvature in the lumbar. What he can start to do is start drawing his navel and start tucking his tailbone. All right. So we get that nice and flat. Another thing we can use is something that's somewhat straight, like this pole here, so that he can start to get a stimulus from the stick to feel what a neutral spine is like. So in this standing bridge, once we have this position here, he's going to start to elevate his chest and start to stand up. And as he stands up, he's going to have to start tucking his tailbone, and there's going to be space here. There you go. So he's going to continue to stand up, and continue to keep tucking his tailbone to keep that stick somewhat flat. And he's going to hold that there. And as you can see here, he's got more of a neutral spine. And what he should be feeling is his glutes activating to keep his pelvic tucked. Are you feeling that, Chad? And then you want to start integrating that with your core, because the whole purpose of functional patterns is to start integrating the body and not isolating certain muscle groups. So we're going to try to integrate the glutes, his core. His adductors should be on to keep his knees from flaring out. You feeling your adductors there, bro? Okay, sometimes at home you might be doing this, and as you start to activate your glutes and come up, your knees are going to want to point outwards. That's because your adductors are on. So use your adductors to start to internally rotate your knees till they're facing forward, and then start making sure that you're feeling your glutes activate, your adductors, you're drawing in the navel, and you're trying your best to keep this somewhat neutral spine. Okay? Now notice that Chad is still leaning forward a little bit. Again, this is not going to be the standing posture that we're trying to get after. It's going to be more of a hinge. So he's going to stay bowed forward so that he can keep his core engaged and his glutes engaged. Okay? So this is the main purpose of the standing bridge, is going to be activating the glutes and the core together. You still feeling the glutes and the core, Chad? All right, you can go ahead and relax.
Shake a bit.
All right, guys. So that was a standing bridge. Again, you can start going from that standing bridge to getting a little bit more upright standing posture. Just slowly start to progress that. Again, the standing bridge is mainly to get the glutes and the core to start functioning together. I hope you guys like this video. Try it at home. Let me know what you guys think. Have a nice day.